Well, what do you make of the new crop of artists, who are out there now, trying to follow in your footsteps and, the footsteps of others in the industry?
Well, I'm very, very, very honored and grateful, because when you take it from this perspective, you realize that once upon a time, from 2009, I have been a new artist coming up from that time. And you can count the number of years it has been now that we're still here representing and pushing. So I think it's the best for an industry. A growing industry is one that produces more and more and more artists, and also, eulogizes its legends and those who have been setting the path and setting the trends, so that the old and the new can actually forge together to make things happen and represent for the country. So I'm really happy for everybody who's pushing and working. And we all know the name you've mentioned, especially is Young.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Is doing massive.
What do you think of his music? People say his music is one way or one dimensional. Let me put. Some critics have said that he needs to display a bit of dynamism and all of that. What do you make of all of these comments?
I think I leave that to the critics. I'm not a critic. I'm a musician. I'm an artist. I'm a fellow creative, person. So I leave it to the critics to enjoy their opinions. All I care about is for them to actually, make constructive criticism. So what they're saying could be, is also laudable. It's a laudable submission. But I believe as an artist, your style is your style. You can only continue to produce in that manner. If you're a farmer and you produce yam, it's yam. Whether the yam comes achia, we just have to enjoy it. And I think I think that these critics are, most of them who know very well, actually do give some constructive criticisms that help to guide the artist. And few of them who just say things from personal observations and personal feelings also add to destroying, a growing career. So that's what I would just beg, that we actually study the game and come across with it nicely, so that it doesn't be like you're tearing somebody down, because we are all growing,
Would you love to do a collaboration with Black Sheriff?
He's in my, I'll say he's my youth, because these are 19, 20-year-olds, and we've been here for a while, though we're not that old. I think from the beginning, when he dropped the first song, was it second or first sermon?
First sermon.
I was in New York. I was in New York with a few Jamaican friends, who wanted to do a collaboration, to feature him on a song. That's where I actually got the opportunity to link up and, and tell him about it, and really didn't hear anything from that end. But I'm good. Collaborations would come. Different teams are working on different things, and I think that's just what it is.
Okay.
Right now, my focus is actually looking beyond the shores, mainly, so
beyond the shores of Ghana, mainly, to get a lot more international acts.
Exactly.
Okay, but one thing I've also wanted to ask you is about the deputy minister for the creative arts, sector, Marco Kweku. Everybody was rooting for him because he was seen as, one of the people who understands the industry. Now he's been in that position for about 2 years. Are you impressed with his performance and, the work he's trying to do for the creative arts sector?
Honestly, I'm not following keenly. If I did follow keenly from toe to toe, then I'll be able to make some very, very constructive, submissions here. But as far as I'm concerned, within his tenure in power, like you say, we all trust him to be a pioneer who has actually produced many, many big artists in this industry, and therefore he knows his ways around. Congratulations to him once more. I rooted for him, and I believe that he has the interest at heart to also change something, because there's definitely a need to change something in our industry. And one thing I pray is that he's able to achieve, because it's a different thing wanting to be in the seat, and it's another thing entering the seat. That I know. So I wouldn't go hard on anybody right now just by saying what I want to say. But I think they made a move that actually gave some of the artists, I know it's not everybody who was able to get some. I did, because we had a meeting one time I bumped into a meeting one time, and then I met the minister himself, and then I tabled some of the challenges. It was around the COVID time, you know, and then they worked together with the ministry to sort, you know, some
of those issues out.
To specifically to drop some few coins for, you know, those who have been actively involved in stuff. So that is one thing that I know was specific that they done.
Okay.